Hello students, in our today's lecture we will study about scope and excitement in physics. Now here, first point, it says that the whole universe is made up of matter and radiation. Now what is matter? Now students, you know that what is matter. Matter exists in generally three states: solid, liquid and gases. All these matters are made up of atoms or the molecules, and the rest of the things, they are radiations. Now what are radiations? So we know that light is also a radiation. It does not consist of any matter. We also know about the ultraviolet rays, X-rays, gamma rays, radio waves. These all are radiation. They are not made up of atoms or the molecules. So the entire universe is consisted of either matter or the radiation or both. Now these radiations they are emitted due to intranuclear transition. Now intranuclear transition means it is the subject matter of nuclear physics. Means to study from where these radiations are emitted, we have to study the branch of physics called nuclear physics. Now I will give you some general information about how these radiations are emitted. Now we know that there is a nucleus in an atom, and electrons they revolve around the nucleus. Now these electrons they can revolve in different orbits around this nucleus. Now suppose if any electron is there which makes the transition from outer orbit to inner orbit, means if it changes the orbit from higher to lower, then also the radiations are emitted. So these radiations are emitted due to the transition of electron. But sometimes what happens, due to some nuclear processes, from the nucleus also radiations they are emitted. The difference is that the radiation emitted due to transition of electron does not have that much energy. They are not that much harmful. But the radiations which are emitted from the nucleus, they are having high energy. And so this type of radiations are harmful to the living organisms or to the human beings also. Now the radiations have many applications. We know that we use mobile phones, we use TV. These all signals they are carried through these radiations or the waves. Even light is a radiation. We can see the object around us different colors due to these radiations. Now next is about the radius of nucleus. That means what is the size of the nucleus. With the help of experiments, the radius of the nucleus is obtained to be 10 raised to minus 14 meter. You can see the power is negative and it is minus 14, means the size is very small. Now about the radius of an atom. Now an electron revolving around the nucleus has the size of its orbital radius of about 10 raised to minus 10 meter. Means if we consider this as the nucleus and let this is an electron revolving around it, then from the nucleus this distance of the electron which is revolving around the nucleus is nothing but it is radius of any atom. Now from these values of the radius of an atom and that of the radius of a nucleus, you can easily say that nucleus is 10,000 times smaller than the atom, because here power is more negative than this. So we can say that this is smaller and this is larger. More the negative power, smaller is the things, or smaller is the dimension. And here the difference you can see, that is of -4. -10 and -14, the difference is -4, and that means -4, which is of power 10, means it is 10,000 times smaller. Now students, you can see the experimental arrangement of Rutherford to determine the size of the nucleus. Here in this arrangement there is a box made up of lead, and inside this box there is a material, polonium, which is a radioactive material, and it emits the alpha particles in all the direction. But these alpha particles which are emitted in all the directions, they are emerging out of it from this small pinhole. Rest of the alpha particles, they are absorbed in this box made up of lead. Now these alpha particles, they emerge from this pinhole and they are directed towards this thin foil of a gold. We know that any material is made up of atoms and the molecules. So here a thin foil of gold is kept here, and now it was found that the most of the alpha particles, they are scattered. That means they are passing through the gold foil. Only few of the alpha particles, they strike the foil and bounce back. Most of they are moving or penetrating the foil. Only few they are bounced back. That shows that in this gold foil, the heavy thing or the massive thing is of a very small size. Rest of the things, they are hollow, means around this nucleus the electrons, they revolve and the space between this is empty. So most of these alpha particles, they move out of this empty space, and due to repulsion with the nucleus, because nucleus is of positive charge, even these alpha particles are of positive charge, and so due to repulsion, when these alpha particles are moving head to head towards the nucleus, they repel and bounce back. Otherwise the rest of the alpha particles, they move from the nucleus from these gaps without any deviation or a less deviation. And these alpha particles can be detected with the help of this fluorescent screen, which can be observed through microscope. Now students, we know that the smallest building block of any matter is an atom. Due to interaction among the atoms, molecules are formed. For example, if we say there is a hydrogen atom and there is a chlorine atom, these two atoms, they interact with each other due to some reaction, and they form a molecule called HCl. Similarly, we can say that if there are two hydrogens and one oxygen atom, and if they interact with each other, then we get H2O. This H2O is a molecule, and this oxygen and this hydrogen, they are the atoms. So due to interaction of atoms, molecules are formed. Now let us study about few branches of physics. Mechanics is a branch of physics which generally deals with the Newton's laws of motion. We know that there are three laws of motion as well as a universal law of gravitation. So the mechanics is based on the Newton's laws. In this mechanics, we know that the vehicles, they are moving. In that also mechanics is used. Many machineries, they work on the mechanics. So a separate branch is there for the study of this type of machines and all. Next is about electrodynamics. We know that the fan rotates is due to electric current. When the current passes through that machine inside the fan, we call that machine as a electric motor. The fan rotates. So here, due to the passing of the electric current, magnetism also produced, and due to that electricity and magnetism, the motor rotates. So electrodynamics deals with the electric current and the magnetic phenomena due to this electric current. So this is also one of the branch of physics. Next is optics. You have studied optics in 10th standard. This branch of physics deals with the reflection, refraction of light, also the dispersion of light. Now you know that what is dispersion of light. If we consider a prism, and if a white light is passing through that prism, then it disperses, or it is separated into the 7 colors. So this process of separation of light through prism is called a dispersion of light. Also, many instruments, they work on the optics, and these instruments are called optical instruments, and these are telescopes used to observe the stars, planets, or other celestial objects. Even microscope is used in biology to observe the microorganisms. Prism to separate the colors, and also in many other instruments this prism is used for various purposes. This you will study in detail in 12th standard. Mirrors are used in the side glass of vehicles and also at our homes. Lenses, they are used in the projector. Even in the microscope and the telescope, lenses are used. Even the specs for the far-sightedness or the near-sightedness, these lenses are used. Thermodynamics is also branch of physics. It is mainly dealing with the temperature, internal energy of the system, and how the work is obtained from the heat. That is the basic thing of this thermodynamics, that how we can obtain the useful work from the heat energy. The example of the application of thermodynamics is heat engine, refrigerator, etc. Now we use refrigerator at our home and ACs in offices and homes, so that are due to this thermodynamics. This is included in the branch of thermodynamics. In that steam engine or a heat engine, the heat energy gets converted to the mechanical energy, and so the work is obtained. Astrophysics or space science, it is related to the study of the planets, sun, galaxies, how this universe came into existence, the structure of the universe, the birth and evolution or the death of the stars, the distances between the sun and the planets, or the length of the galaxy, or the size of the planet. All this type of studies, they are related to this branch of physics called astrophysics. Now students, you can see here this statement: the span of physics is almost from vacuum to infinity. Means the discoveries in earlier times, if we consider that as zero discoveries or the inventions, and then from that stage the discovery started, and that discoveries will have no end, means up to infinity. So that is nothing but the span of physics. From almost zero invention or discoveries it started, and then yet it is continuing, and it will continue till infinity. Now about the length scale. What is the scale of the length in physics? The smallest measurement done with the help of physics is of about 10 raised to minus 14, the smallest thing, that is radius of nucleus. And the largest measurement done is of the length of the galaxies. Means the span in terms of length is from 10 raised to minus 14 to 10 raised to 26 meter. And so we can say that the range of length is about 10 raised to 40. You can see here 10 raised to minus 14 to 10 raised to 26. In between this distance is called the range, and the length scale has range of about 10 raised to 40. Similarly, the time scale. The smallest time measured is of about 10 raised to minus 22 second. See, the power is negative, and that is minus 22. So a smallest time can also be measured, and the largest time of about 10 raised to 18 second, that can also be measured. So once again, if we take the range from minus 22 to 18, again we'll get the range of the time scale of about 10 raised to 40. Now here this range is obtained with the help of using speed of light, which is about 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Similarly, one other important physical quantity is mass. First was the length, second was time, and this third is mass. Even the mass is predicted or measured. The smallest mass is of the order of 10 raised to minus 30 kg. We know that the smallest particle is electron, which revolves around the atom. So its mass is also measured with the help of different experimental techniques, and it was about 10 raised to minus 30 kg. And the largest mass, that is mass of the universe, that was predicted to be 10 raised to 55. You can see that the power is minus 30 for an electron, so it is a smallest. And here for the mass of the universe, you can see the power is positive 55, so it is a very large mass. So there are some indirect methods to obtain these masses. Finally, we can say that the scope of physics extends over the two basic domains. Macroscopic means large, and microscopic means very small. So even small things can be studied, and even the large things can be studied with the help of physics. Or we can say in other words that the physics includes both the large and the small things in its studies.